Greetings, ladies and gents, and welcome to this latest version of Tales from Outer Space, where I take an HFY story from somewhere around the internet and read it aloud for your enjoyment. All the relevant links are down below. Like, subscribe, and all that YouTube comf to help this video and channel grow. Anyways, as always, I hope that you enjoy. I would just like to thank the following Tier 5 patrons and channel members for supporting the channel: Datamagnet and Bob the Dragon. Thank you again. And now, on to the story. Economics, written by Aiass. Physically, the saproids are not an impressive race. Skinny little guys. Most races refer to them as the little grey people. But they are really smart. Proportional to their bodies, their craniums and their brains are the largest among sentient races. And they're also cunning and greedy and ruthless. You could be at war with them and not even know it, because they don't wage wars with ships and guns and troops. Oh no. They wage economic wars, because they are trade masters. They are present on any stock market around the universe. They have their greedy little paws in every bank and every vault. Why? Because nobody can multiply currency like a smart little bastards can. As a result of their intimate knowledge regarding the economics of the universe, they can crash any economy of anyone who they deem as a threat to them and their lifestyle. When humans finally discovered FTL, they were welcomed to the universe. They met all other sentient races. Trade deals were made, technologies were exchanged, shipping lanes were being established. Everyone was admiring this race of industrious, peace-loving, hard-working people. Everyone liked them, and the humans seemed to like everyone too. Everyone except the saproids. For some reason, undisclosed by their diplomacy, the humans were rather cold and cautious towards the little grey men. It's not that they refused contact or trade deals with them, or refused to grant them visiting visas to Earth. It's just that, unlike with the other races, the humans didn't seem to trust them. Like, at all. Every saproid that visited Earth was accompanied by guards at all times. No access was given to more important human technologies or real access to human stock markets. Nobody really knew the reason for this apprehension from the humans' part. But soon, all over the universe, when someone was being mad or frustrated at the saproids, began referring to them as anal probers and cow snatchers. These were terms that started from unofficial human sources. Of course, the behavior didn't go unnoticed by the saproids, nor would it be left unpunished. In great secret, the probers, the saproids assembled their war council. Their greatest minds in the field of economics met to discuss a strategy to bring these upstarts at the saproids' mercy. Like I said before, the saproids didn't believe in standard warfare. Ours were animals, for mindless brutes as far as they were concerned. No, their field of battle was economy, and their weapon was currency. But their access to human economy was basically inexistent, so their usual methods wouldn't be efficient against the humans. In order to find a winning strategy, more data was needed. So a couple of saproid generals were sent to Earth to gather more information. They pretended to be tourists, willing to visit an exotic planet. The Human Bureau for Xeno Affairs accepted the tourist visa requests. It recommended them a few popular tourist resorts. Because the saproids couldn't endure colder climates, the destinations were countries in the warmer climates of Earth, like Thailand, Philippines, Malaysia, Haiti, Barbados. India was off limits for some reason. Apparently for the safety of the cow snatchers, the saproids. Accommodations were made for them, tickets were bought, guides were booked, and, of course, guards had been assigned for their protection, according to the humans. After a few days of quarantine, some vaccines, and other such formalities, the generals found themselves on Earth, among the humans, and began their observation and data gathering. The natural beauty of the land left them unmoved. The exotic fauna mostly scared them. The exotic foods, fruits, vegetables were of no interest. Some of it were borderline poisonous. Sport activities, such as diving, climbing, hiking, and so on, were just irrelevant to them. No, they looked for weaknesses in the economy. They watched how money changed hands. They analyzed what did the humans spend their currency on. They watched, they asked questions, they gathered data. Spreadsheets were made, graphs created, PowerPoint presentations, the works. A month later, the generals returned to their home planet, and the War Council gathered once more. The first to speak was Senior General Scump, from the prestigious Scump Trading Company. The general stepped up to the podium with confidence. He looked very imposing, with 2 assistants following him, displaying his very long achievement scroll. The general also looked quite refreshed by his time behind enemy lines, and one could even see a faint tan on his gray skin. "Gentlemen," he began his speech, "on my time on the enemy planet, I learned a lot of things about the humans. I studied them carefully, and I think I found an ingenious method to strip them of their currency, to bleed them dry. Not only to make them poor, but to make them direct their money only into our accounts and to no other race." Every member of the council was on the edge of their seat. Their greedy eyes shone with excitement. Little grubby paws were being rubbed together. Some began to drool uncontrollably. Some of them were even hiding erections behind clipboards placed onto their laps. General Scump smiled at their excitement and began to explain his strategy. "After I visited several vacation destinations amongst the humans, I observed the following. 1. The humans work almost all year, gathering currency like any other normal sapient. But instead of using the gathered currency to invest and multiply it, they spend a huge portion of their gathered money only on a single month of vacation. It is a crazy period in their life that happens every year, when they just spend. They prefer to spend it on traveling to new places, as different as possible from their standard place of living. They spend it on trying new things, new foods, new experiences, and new mating patterns. Number 2. When humans reach a certain age, they retire from activity. They stop working and they don't make money anymore. But the government pays them money each month. A fair percent of these old humans, when reaching this stage, prefer to move to warmer climates, where they spend their days taking money from their governments and spending them. Usually spending the money as explained on point 1 of my presentation. 3. The main source of income for those popular vacation sites I visited was the money spent shown above. The entire economy of those places depend on the money that they extract from the tourists. Gentlemen, continued the general, I have seen tourism in the universe, but I have never seen an economy so dependent on it. Nor have I met a race so ready to spend money on such frivolous things. So, after analyzing all of these things, I propose the following course of action. 1. We build tourist resorts. Terrans will come because they love new places and experiences. If you build it, they will come. They will come with their money and leave without them. We will make them pay for these resorts. Not only will they leave their money here, but we will also bankrupt Earth's tourist destinations. After all, they can't offer us much new as the alien planet. Number 2. I am aware that the humans don't trust us and don't like us. They call us anal probers and cow snatchers. They won't visit saproid resorts, so we build them on other worlds. There are plenty of races that will welcome us investing in their planets. We just make sure that no staff is saproid, and the humans don't know it's our resorts, and they will happily spend their income in those places. 3. We establish a charter flights between Earth and our newly built resorts. The Terrans will pay us to come here and give us their money. Also, this would mean less tourists and less income for transport companies on Earth. Again, a serious blow to the local economy. And last, we will attract the elderly humans. We sell them houses and land in warm climates. Like all humans, they crave new experiences. So they'll move to these places. Not temporary, but they will stay there until they expire. All the time sucking money from Earth and spending it on the planets we attract them to. Again, I am aware that they will not come to our planet. Instead, we must attract them to planets that are under unofficial control, so we can benefit from the steady credit flow that will be coming from Earth towards the elderly. Thank you for your attention, gentlemen. I am looking forward to your opinions and to the plans that my fellow generals have devised. The other generals that visited Earth also presented their plans and observations, but applying all the plans at once was avoided for 3 reasons. First, too many plans at once might alert the humans that they were under attack. Second, each of these plans required money, and there was only so much resources the saproids were willing to risk. And third, they wanted not to push the storyteller right here too much right now, and to leave some room for a potential follow-up. The council members voted, and with a majority of votes chose General Scum's plan as the starting offensive against the humans. They started going over details, calculating return of investment rates, choosing suitable locations, squabbling over who gets to invest where and on what. But they were professionals. Slowly, the things were set into motion, and the silent war began, without the humans ever realizing that they were under attack. In less than a year, 10 huge resorts with hundreds of hotels and 10 different planets were ready to receive their mostly human guests. Transport lines were established between these resorts, Earth, and even Earth's colonies. Clips appeared on the human internet promoting these resorts. Also, at the same time, amazing offers appeared, dedicated to the elderly humans, for houses and land on warm, beautiful, exotic planets. For the humans that chose to move to these planets, they even offered free transport. The plan was in motion, and it was flawlessly executed. Results soon became visible. Humans, after being confined to their own worlds for the entire existence, flocked to these new resorts with a great enthusiasm. Old people were happy to get away from the crowded, polluted Earth and settled on warm, new planets. The number of tourists and elderly surpassed even the most optimistic predictions of the saproids. Money was starting to flow steadily from the direction of Earth into the pockets of the Yano probers. The council calculated that at this rate, in 10 years, humans would spend enough money outside their system that they would enter a recession. Mike Lowry was one of the guides that had been hired to babysit the delegation of cow snatchers. He had never before met real-life aliens, but he was rather disappointed. He tried his best to entertain them, but the boring, cheap, non-tipping grey little bastards were not interested in anything fun. They just watched, observed, took notes. At some point, Mike thought that they were into voyeurism, but nope, they just didn't know how to have fun. So, when he was assigned to another delegation from another species, he had very low expectations. He almost refused the job, but his professional pride won. He vowed to himself that this delegation was going to have fun like never before. So, he did everything with them. Took them to shows, concerts, magic shows, cabaret. Took them on trips like safari, hiking. Took them onto the sea for swimming, snorkeling, diving. Took them skydiving, took them to fancy restaurants to enjoy a wide variety of cuisine. The works. At first, the new aliens were just as boring as the saproids, like they were scared to do anything of the new activities. "Why do you humans do these things, this vacation?" asked the leader of the delegation. Seems like a waste of resources. So Mike explained to them that humans need to take time off the usual work in order to recharge. A human without relaxation from time to time becomes much less productive. And he told them that he was willing to bet that the entire delegation would feel much more efficient after a week under his supervision. The aliens agreed to follow his lead, and after only a few hours, they relaxed and started having the time of their lives. At the end of one full week, the aliens were energized, happy, relaxed, and felt ready to return to their mundane task with more vigor. Well, at least until their next vacation. And so things went with the next delegation, and the next, and the next. Word spread, and soon there was a growing stream of alien tourists on Earth. At some point, resorts dedicated to human tourists opened on other planets. Most humans that had caught a vacation went to space. That took some pressure off of Earth's overcrowded resorts and made room for the ever-growing mass of alien tourists. Josh Brenner was amongst the first people to visit the tourist resorts built for humans on alien worlds. He enjoyed his vacation immensely. He liked it so much that he visited 3 of the mega resorts in less than a year. It was like visiting places from the movies he watched as a little kid, like entering the universe of Star Wars. So many other races, such wonderful and exotic sceneries, and so many strange foods. However, he did notice a few unexpected things. Apparently, most alien races didn't usually take vacations like humans did. All the destinations he visited were obviously new and designed for humans. And even if they were designed for humans, you could easily see the lack of experience in tourism the designers of these places had. Sure, there were hotels, and each hotel and restaurants, but there was a serious lack of other tourist attractions, like organized activity, diving in those purple seas, safari excursions to observe the strange fauna, bird watching, skydiving. Nothing like that. Not even a souvenir shop. Nothing like that. So Josh Brenner did what any businessman does when he smells an opportunity. He invested. He started rather small, bought a building near one of the tourist resorts, transformed it into a hotel. But unlike the resort, he made it suitable for as many species as he could. After that, he convinced his family and friends to invest too. They built a restaurant, opened a souvenir shop, opened an agency that organized all sorts of activities, in order for the visitors to enjoy all experiences the alien planet had to offer. And most important, they promoted this type of tourism to all the other known sentient races. Even if other races were not used to this type of spending time, it was impossible not to enjoy yourself if humans were organizing your vacation. Soon, it was known throughout the galaxy that if you wanted to have fun, you turned to the humans. Josh Brenner and his friends were just the first humans to do this, but they were not alone. Soon the mega resorts built for the humans were old news. Human-built resorts were attracting more tourists from all over the universe. A brand new market opened by the Saproids, but because of their experience in tourism, the humans were the experts on this new market. Walt Kowalski was sitting on his porch, sipping his beer, enjoying the warm evening and the view of the spectacularly first sunset of the day. The planet Calidnia had 2 suns that rotated around each other. The sunset was something else, like watching 2 mythological creatures fighting over the rule of the heavens. It wasn't really a sunset, as one sun disappeared under the horizon. The second sun was coming up. This first sunset actually marked the middle of the day. "Ha! I'm cheating death," snorted Walt to himself. "I'm doubling the number of sunsets I'm going to see before I die." Bittersweet humor, but that's the humor of an old man. He had moved to Calidnia 6 months ago, as soon as offers for new homes on alien planets began to appear on the internet. One last adventure, he had thought to himself when he bought this place. Best decision he ever made. The weather was always perfect. The house was cheap, but very spacious and comfortable. The local race was friendly. They looked like Ewoks, but less hairy. "Man, I love this view," he sighed, as his second son won the battle and climbed up into the pink sky. Just then, his communicator beeped. "Yeah," answered Walt, and took another sip of his beer. "Mr. Kowalski," asked a high-pitched voice, sounding suspiciously like one of them anal probers. "This is he." "My name is Rajesh from Zerop Utilities. I'm calling to ask you when we can schedule a replacement of the utilities in your home." "Huh?" a confused Walt asked. "Oh, right. I forgot that you are new to our planet. You see, sir, on Kalidnia, our company, Zerop Utilities, replaces your water pump, air filter, air conditioner, washing machine, and refrigerator every year. We call this preventative maintenance, and this way we make sure your equipment does not break too often." "Oh, you do this for free every year?" "What? No, sir. You'll be billed, of course." "Like hell I will. Nothing wrong with my stuff. Nothing broke yet. When something breaks, I'll fix it myself. If I can't, only then will I buy a new one." You can't do that." Rajesh seemed at a loss for words. "Listen here, kid. Are these equipments my property?" "Well, yes, sir, of course." "Then if you want to tell me what I can and can't do with my own property, you're gonna have to come here and tell me personally. And my rifle." No answer came from the other side of the line. Just a gulp. "That's what I thought. Now fuck off and don't call this number again." About a week later, his water pump broke. Walt grabbed his toolbox and opened it. It was only one condenser that burnt itself, but that started a whole contraption. It was rather standard, but cheaply made, flimsy. He replaced it in 2 minutes. But for the pump to break just as the company was trying to sell him a new one seemed like too big of a coincidence. So he checked all the stuff around his house, the fridge, the air filter, the washing machines, everything. All of them were decently built, but had some cheap condensers or cheap fuses or cables too thin, like they were all meant to last only a few months. He went online and ordered himself a box of honest earth-built condensers, fuses, and whatnot, just to have some spares. Xenos might replace their entire machine when it stopped working, but to him, that was wasteful. About a month later, he was at a neighbor's house at a party. They were a nice clan of Ewoks, happy, cute, and man, they were funny after a few beers. Everyone was telling stories, jokes. They were all laughing. Walt was telling them about how he scared Rajesh silly over the phone, to the amusement of the whole party. Wait, said Blink, the son of the neighbor. "You mean to tell us you fix all this stuff by yourself?" "Yeah, dude, it's not even that complicated. They're simple machines, really easy to fix. And if you mess up, so what? They were gonna sell you a new one anyway." "Well, I wouldn't mind not buying new stuff every year," said Blink's dad. "It's sucking me dry. If I wouldn't have had to replace them, maybe we could afford one of those vacations I keep hearing about." "Well, think you could show Blink here how to fix them?" "Sure thing, buddy, if he wants to." "I don't know," said Blink. "My friends will probably laugh at me, saying I'm into old man stuff." Walt thought for a second and then asked, "You kids have a social network, right? And the kid with the most interesting posts and the most likes and shares is the most popular, right?" "Well, yeah." "Kid, I'll teach you how to fix them things, and you can post tutorials online for each type of fix. You're gonna save your people so much money that your channel is gonna be the most popular on this planet. You're gonna get so much tail, and you're not gonna have any energy left to fix things," laughed Walt. "Tail? I don't know what you mean." "Never mind that. It's the beer talking, so, you in?" "Yeah, okay. Not sure if you're right about the popular part, but I would really like for us to save money to go on a vacation." "Great! Then it's settled, man. I'm gonna enjoy sticking to that Zerop Utilities company. You know, I have a suspicion that company is run by those anal prober jerks. You know, that my granddaddy was abducted by those jerks." And so, the storytelling part of the party continued. In the following months, Radio Shack received thousands of orders from planet Kalidnia, and the orders kept growing in number and in numbers of articles. The sales of new water pumps, air filters, boilers, washing machines, refrigerators, and other household equipment plummeted, and Blink's channel became the most popular channel on the planet. The situation on Calidnia was not singular. Every planet where old humans moved at one point or another, similar events developed. The humans refused to replace equipment regularly. If the machines broke down, they just fixed them. And then they showed their neighbors how to fix them. And so on, until spare parts stores from Earth were forced to open branches and depots on alien planets to cope with the demand. 4 years after the Saproids started their silent war against the humans, their expensive built resorts were now shadowed by the human ones and were barely making any profit. All the planets where old humans had moved and whereon the Saproids had booming companies like Xerop Utilities were now reporting massive losses. The Saproid Council held elections and removed the generals responsible for this debacle from the leadership. End of story. And that, my friends, concludes this video. I hope that you enjoyed, and if you do, please consider supporting the author, even by popping over and leaving a thumbs up or a nice comment, just to show your appreciation for the story. However, if you wish to support this channel, there are links down below which will help immensely. I will see you all in the next one, and until then, I hope that you have a fantastic day. Cheers.